Hello, happy people. Ah, some nice meditations and contemplations about how reality functions. I feel actually that these videos are helping me to get my own insights out to the world, and by seeing them, analyzing, I can um, start to see my own blind spots, if that makes sense. And also, if I can see them, maybe other viewers can see them and point them out. So here's what I'm noticing. It seems that all of life is this game between different kind of units and conglomerations of matter, of biology, of some kind of energy that sticks together and does some kind of process. And each of these processes or beings are optimized for some things better than other things. So you take, for instance, a yogi or a monk or heavy duty meditator. They might be awesome at certain brain frequencies and amplifying certain areas of their heads, but not others. Okay, so they'll be maybe using certain substances or not to amplify these 5 areas of their brain, but not these other 20. You take a professional boxer or a professional rodeo clown or whatever it is, and they'll have a completely different configurations of brain regions and muscle groups and stuff like that that they're training better than others. You take a singer, opera singer, a vlogger, a blogger, a senator, anything. You can take these different kinds of beings and you can see that they're all optimized for certain functions in their area of the ecosystem that they occupy. And I'm saying that if you look at reality in a certain way, you can find commonalities that apply the same no matter what kind of interactions you're talking about. I was looking at this video, at this TED Talk, which explained how trees and fungi will trade amongst each other. Trees have an excess of carbon, and fungi will have all kinds of nutrients and whatever minerals and whatever else they find that trees don't have. And they'll trade carbon for this, carbon for that. Or using this mycelial network under the ground, certain trees will give carbon to other trees during summer, and then when it's winter, these guys have no more leaves, but these guys do because they're evergreen, and they pass the carbon back. And by balancing in this way throughout the year, they can both thrive much better than they would alone. They just can grow and thrive like this by trading, by doing this sort of trade, this sort of exchange. Notice that they don't use money unless you consider carbon to be their currency or money. The mushrooms in this whole game of carbon trading seems to be a unifying, like an internet of things. So they'll trade between two individuals of the same species or of different species. They will just keep a sort of network balance going on by who knows what kind of methods and ways, by their own mushroom wisdom, right? And I'm saying that we can do the same thing, and we probably are doing the same thing with information, with electricity, with presence, with whether or not we look at each other, whether or not we touch each other, hug, handshakes, keep bonds of a certain kind going or not, whether or not we eat together, spend time together. I found that, for instance, why do people keep friendships? Why do people go and see a movie together or just eat? They could eat the same food alone, but it obviously wouldn't be the same at all as eating it in a nice meal together, having discussions and bouncing ideas off each other and so on. Um, what I'm saying is that there's a way to analyze things, to look at things. Like, for instance, any being that's outside of you, if they are interested in bonding with you, they will probably be more interested in some aspects more than others. Okay, if you're their martial arts trainer, they may not care that much how well you speak Portuguese. Okay, if you're their Portuguese trainer or like teacher, they probably won't care that much how good your martial arts skills are, or what kind of a lasagna you know how to make, or whatever, potato soup, how your cooking skills are, if that's not the skill they're or area they're interested in. What I'm saying is, whatever, and this also applies to relationships, like whatever people want to get out of that interaction, you can break it down to something like, this being sees in you some kind of excellence of some kind that's worth investigating and learning. And hopefully, though this is not quite always the case, hopefully they have something to trade back. And now, if there's some kind of mutual interest there, like you have with the mushrooms and trees, trees have carbon, these guys want carbon. These guys have nutrients and strange minerals. The trees want these strange minerals because it's too complicated for themselves to go get it. So there's a mutual interest in the sort of, and trading interest on both sides. As long as that exists, there's place to play. Now, if you're looking to learn martial arts and there's a cool martial arts instructor and they're professional and they kind of, you like the vibe, you're gonna go learn and pay your dues and that's it. What if there's a whole wealth of kung fu styles and martial artists to learn from? What if everybody knows their martial arts in that business, but now so the skill of martial arts becomes accessible to learn, but now you're looking at different things. Maybe you have 4 martial arts instructors that just do this, but the other guy also knows some fancy neuroscience stuff that makes their training more effective. Let's say they can teach you in 2 weeks what the other guys can teach you in 3, or something like that. So now you're shopping in a different area of their brain, and like, what else could they know? Maybe you're both, whatever, you like a certain language, you like a certain food, you like a certain vibe, you like a certain something. So if there's common areas, what am I what am I trailing off into here? You know, okay, there's the question. Why am I doing these things? What am I trying to get at? This, obviously my main motivation for this is to get the most out of my neurology, get the most out of my ideas, like see what kind of treasure chests of information I might be sitting on, unopened and unexplored, but that would become apparent if I'm expressing ideas like this, you know? And I'm very much aware that this is not an ideal video. It's like 8 minutes and 30 something, and we don't have like a pam pam pam, like a clear sniper shot at some one idea and whatever. It's sort of a fishy, octopusy, squid-like, wobbling around certain ideas, and we're just sort of sniffing what might come out to play, if that makes sense, okay? So what I'm looking to say here and to do here is that there's this potential for bonding going on between 2 beings of any kind, any size. Be they buffaloes or neurons or humans, or a human and a dog or a cat, or you know how those interspecies pets play with each other, like parrots and cats and dogs and capybaras. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I wanted to demonstrate here. This skill, this mushroomy skill of finding something inside that expresses like a symbol that would really work. A capybara is, for me at least, I've never seen one in real life, But all the videos I've seen, it shows it to be a very, very effective bonding agent. It will just walk up to dogs and things that are much bigger than itself, and it will start to look at, now how are you? And let's play, and ta-da-da, right? So the capybara is like a mushroom of the mammalian kingdom, bonding goats to dogs to whatever, just by creating this field of really good vibes. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I started this video with a sort of businessy, monetary, financial vibe in my head, and I ended in the capybara area of my head, which, I mean, something tells me that these areas are highly connected, especially in the coming years and decades. That we are pretty much tired of generic stuff. We are tired of just factory-like settings, just clean and sharpshooting, just this, and it costs this much, and just eat your food and go next, McDonald's, whatever. No, we're looking for the capybara element of life. The little, you know what I'm saying? Which is just, it's like this. It wobbles. Like, yeah. Now this is something it's not that easy to pin down and to define. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since people invented the metric system and ways to measure things precisely by the elbow and all that, like, the physical got really measurable. But what I'm saying is that there's other aspects of ourselves, and they may have to do with magnetics and electronics and electrics and like things that they're just like, how do you measure the capybara element here? It's like, if you walk into a place, or you listen to a piece of music, or you hit a certain bong hit of a certain strand of weed, and it just makes you go, ah. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I think we're all looking for that coziness, that sort of element of, yeah, this clock tells me time, but it's also goofy, right? It's like, if I'm too serious, I'm looking at this, whatever it is, Hello Kitty watch, like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, of course, I'm not just some executive, I have like a bunny inside, a capybara, like a thing, a squid. There's the more tentacled, goofy aspect of life. And I'm saying that as we develop as a culture, as a society, as a more spacefaring civilization, I think this element will be quite important. Because you're not going to outsmart all the gray aliens or whatever else is out there. You're not going to outsmart things that are significantly smarter than you. But you can absolutely, most certainly rely on that type of goofy connection element. Like, if you can get any being out there to just go, oh, right? I mean, it may have 6 eyeballs on every side of its head, and like, you know, glowing things, like, here was, look, it's got fur on its face, So what am I saying? I'm saying this, to conclude all the stuff, hopefully to conclude all the stuff, I'm saying I've spent months being, like, winter idle, video idle. I didn't have a phone, I didn't shoot video. You know. So I'm saying that this bunny capybara element of our brain and our body is like a muscle. You have to use it for it to work well. You have to, you know, keep it in excellent condition. And then if you do, it will actually work. It seems to me this is what I wanted to tell myself, to let the pig out more, have more, just find ways to make things fluffy. Find more fluffiness in life. Find it yeah. Find this. I don't know if this video is even shareable. It's just the rambling to Zen ratio is kind of messed up. But like, I feel I've been putting too much pressure on myself, okay? To just, you know, the perfectionism thing, like, when you just, you know, you start making, like working with clay for the first time, and you expect to make something like this, like a finite piece of professionally made product with all that, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, what am I looking to do here, man? Or woman, or child, or alien, or whoever's watching this? I'm looking to form a connection, a bond. I'm looking to get some information from somewhere, somehow, someplace. I'm looking to goof off. I wish to be myself and see who sticks around to the end of the video, which is now 16 minutes and 16 seconds. This is like amazing. How long is this gonna be? One of those super long vlogs that goes nowhere? People start asking questions. Is this boy on meth? Is he on meth? Is it crack? Like, wow, like, what is he smoking that's lasting so long? Like, it should be done in half an hour. But no, still going. I'm expected. I'm awaited in Valhalla. Anyway. I think this is, okay, I think this is one game I'm playing with myself, so to speak. Oops. It's how many people can I still alienate and just demonstrate a complete lack of professionalism in my videos, and then still see if there's anybody around left listening. Because if there is, those are my tribe. Seth Godin, I believe, at one point mentioned the otaku, the people who have an interest for something that's just like, you know, they like spoons made out of spaghetti or whatever it is. And it's just like, it's weird and twisted, but they have it. Some small percentage of the population will have that. They'll just like whatever it is, Hello Kitty. And if you can find those people, if you can find the people who have the otaku that you have, the fetish that you have, the thing that you have, that, you know, I think that's the good stuff. How hated will I be from this? There's so much weirdness going on in my head right now. I think this may be a valuable video to show people, especially those neurotic, perfectionistic people. I think every vlogger should have a video like this, where basically they show a unedited version of pure crap coming out on the camera. Just nothing quite works. The voice isn't quite right. The mind obviously isn't quite right. Hasn't been a long time for myself, at least, and that's fine. That's who I am. And still show the goddamn balls to post this, even if it's crap. Show it, you know, go there. Believe in yourself. Show. Okay. There was a rooster outside that sounded just like a wolf. Or the other way around. In my mind, it's the other way around. But I mean, factually, I know it's a rooster, but in my mind, you know. Oh, okay. What am I saying here? I am saying that expressing ourselves as a group together is good. Using phones like this for making videos like this is good. It's very good for the mind, you know, to every once in a while just blabber at yourself. Just speak your mind and know for a fact how intelligent you've been that day, or how dumb as a board you've been that day. That is fine. But I'm saying, get some measuring points, get some data over there, see where you are on the bell curve. You know what I'm saying? Just measure that bell curve and see how your neural network wiggles. I gotta say, I'm very troubled lately by all kinds of things. Maybe I'm troubling myself with all kinds of things. I'm somewhat troubled of the fact that this channel is called Kalin Designs, and there's very little design stuff on it, leading me to believe that maybe design isn't even my thing, my calling, my whatever. Maybe I could start another channel or 2 or 5 showing basically how to be a constant, undecisive sort of mess, dabbling in several fields at once and making it, maybe that thing is it. Maybe this is the whole thing, okay? What does a bird do? Is it a singer, a dancer, a flyer, or a fighter, or a fish gourmet? It's all of the above. You know, it does all of these things. Whenever it feels like it does this. Whenever it feels like it does that, and so on. But anyway, let's keep it going. Let's keep, you know, what I'm saying is, I think this is important to at least start to get on tape, on paper. What I'm saying is I've seen this in my art, trying to make designs. And notice the trying here. I don't use this word lightly. Trying to make designs, trying to make t-shirt designs or pin designs or stuff like that, and just it not going well, or I not putting it, like just finishing the whole thing, and you know, and something tells me that this is like the approach is incorrect. It's unbalanced. The amount of pressure I've been putting probably on some areas of my head being much too high, and on others much too low. And if I have a target and I want to, let's say, run from here to there, and I'm putting all the pressure just on my right leg and none of my left leg, I'll be limping in a circle and doing all kinds of weird stuff. I'm going to be consuming a great amount of energy, maybe make things that are really funny for some people, so much so that they'll pay me if I go doing it as a street act, but I will not be getting to, you know, run in a straight line. So, what do we learn from this? What we learn from this is that task and goal achievement and task completion and getting anywhere with the stuff is often more a function of, can we recruit enough of our neurology in the same direction to actually do this? So not just put 50 pounds of pressure on this small area of the brain to do this one thing while the rest of the brain is uncoordinated, just doing other things completely different. Like, hey, you want to be a good hitman, go learn to use a gun really well. Yeah, okay. But then the other parts of your brain, the moral stuff and the stuff, they're not okay with you killing people, right? So you could be the most awesome sniper. Technically, you could hit like a pumpkin or an apple at 5 miles away, but then if it's a human head or whatever you're trying to shoot, miss. And that miss is not a function of how well you can shoot a gun, but a function of completely different things in the brain that, instead of acting as support for this action you're taking, they will act as inhibitors and distractors and interrupters. So what I'm saying is, although I started this channel as Kalin Designs, about design and stuff like that, I wanted to make it about the really narrow focus. Although that is the case, reality and the actual, like how it happened, how it flowed, is that I've noticed in real time over the months that that's not like how we use a pen or a digital pen. That's not the design bit. It's like the design is a way of thinking, of which the final making of products is just the tip of the iceberg. Below that, maybe above that, there's a whole process happening Who are you? Who do you want to be? What kind of things do you want to design? For what reason? For what purpose? So on and so forth. I gotta say, I'm still feeling a tremendous amount of pressure. I want to take a shovel and hit myself over the face with it many, many times. And if I'd be a little more rugged, I'd say a crowbar and just hit myself over the head many, many times. Because I feel like this tremendous, tremendous perfectionism and urge to shine and impress and whatever. And I realize it's just some area of my head it's not in balance with the rest, or also with others of similar, age, ability, species, and so on and so forth. And I'm saying it doesn't like, if my pressure to do things, to make videos, to get something out of it should be, if I would function best at around this pressure, and certain areas of my head have this and others have this, then it's just gonna be a car with 4 wheels and they're going in different directions at different speeds, and it's a weirdness happening and no cohesion and tra-la-la. Why am I saying all these things? I'm saying all these things because I see on the internet and in real life people who have very similar problems of brain areas going out of tune with each other. And they have various words for them, calling them depression and bipolar and anxiety and ta-ra. And what am I saying? I'm saying that things like video like this, or sports, or flow arts can actually get these things back in tune with each other and with themselves, and making a whole melody and a symphony from this initial raw electrical noise. I'm also saying I don't know if I should put this video up for viewing by unsuspecting people, on account of it being so crazily off topic and random topics and so on and so forth. And maybe I should just watch it, map it on paper, see the commonalities that come out and make a different video. But now the question is, will that second video have the freshness of the first? And I believe it may not. So I believe now the correct course of action for my channel, where I am king and captain and so on and so forth, is to upload the first video, the previous one, where I started with all these dubious plant ideas, and this one with all the next more dubious ideas, and basically do something like start all these different seeds of data and watch them grow together into something, okay? So if we're thinking alchemically, you take one thing and you do solve, like you cut it into its pieces, and then you do coagula, like you gather the pieces into something else. But we can also realize that this is a process that goes on in nature. Solve coagula, solve coagula. And these videos, I know they seem kind of scattered, this video and the previous one. But realize that if given enough time and attention, all of these ideas will form together into something cohesive. Just like in nature, if we start any number of species in any brand new territory or environment, if we give them enough time, they will find a way to make a functional thing together by changing and tweaking their genes and so on and so forth. And I think this is what we're doing here. We're being given this opportunity, like this video game, to unite, much like the mushrooms unite the different species, to unite all kinds of cultures, all kinds of languages, all kinds of technologies, all kinds of brain speeds and frequencies and pets and ideas and plants and spirits, to unite them into some kind of thing together that works. You understand what I'm saying? It's like every day we're being given this these Lego pieces, like a rabbi, Hitler, a rabbi, Stalin, and Trump, and a priest walk into a bar. And then it's open-ended. Here, write the jokes. Or write the fight, like who has what weapons, who does what, who, like, you know, what's happening. What can you come up with given these 5 or 7 or 27 cards? And then tomorrow it's the next thing, and tomorrow it's the next thing. What am I saying here? Jesus, help a brother out. Why am I stretching this video? Nobody's gonna be watching 30 minutes of myself vlogging like this. Nobody's gonna do it. Nobody's gonna freaking do it. Of course, there's that one guy. There's that one guy on meth going, this is an interesting monologue. I think about these things a lot as well. Yeah, I can relate. I can relate. Yeah. I don't know how people smoke meth. Like, shut up. Meth. So, yeah. What else do we have? Why are you still watching a video like this? It's obviously not going anywhere, not making sense, not doing anything worth. I would like to know this in comments. If anybody watched to this 31 minutes and 31 seconds mark, why did you watch it? What did you consider worth watching here? Like, why? Okay, and with this, I now leave you and hope to see you maybe in the next video or not. I don't care. It's fine. Just do your thing and I'll do mine. Cheers, YouTube. Cheers.